Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already so you don't miss any of my fun videos. Have you ever just been chilling on the couch and you find a random lash? Yes, this is actually where I sit down and take off my lashes after work. So I just have one chilling, and in this lash box, I have one stored in there as well. So when I find these around the house, I don't know what to do with them and I don't want to waste them. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to show you how you can actually revamp these one-off lashes into a brand new beautiful pair. So stay tuned. I also have this pair of lashes that is long. It just doesn't look like it has too much. It's not very thick. It's very, very thin, and I don't know, just doesn't have much oomph. This is the one that I found. This is a full lash, and this is actually a pair of wispies that I'm gonna use, and some makeup wipes. So I'm gonna go in, I make a little kind of puppet thing with my fingers here in just a second, and I make sure that I'm holding the actual hairs of the lash, and as I'm going through and moving my way down the band to remove any excess glue or makeup or glitter or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that you continue to hold on to those actual hairs of the lashes, because if not, it can actually kind of come off of the band and then you'll have even less to work with. But after you go through and remove all of the glue, you want to then go in and grab your disinfecting wipes. So just making sure that it's nice and hygienically ready for your eye area. I actually went through and rinsed this with water just because I didn't want the disinfectant wipe to mess up my eyes. I'm grabbing my Anastasia brow scissors, and I'm actually going to measure. I'm kind of counting to see how many lash, separations or little lash parts are on there, and I want to make sure that I'm cutting it right in the middle, because I'm actually going to use half of the lash for the right side and half of the lash for the left side. So again, I'm just going through, kind of cutting the pieces. So the half of the lash I'm cutting into even smaller pieces to make that piecey effect. Now that I have the pieces cut, I was going to go in and glue it down, but I actually want smaller pieces, so I went and actually cut it with the glue on it, which hindsight probably won't do that. But anywho, I'm kind of going through and placing the longest piece right in the center. I love that lash look where it is longer in the center of the lash, and it kind of gets smaller on the inner and the outer parts of the lash. I just feel like that look really just pops your eye open, so it gives you the wider look to the eye. If you were to put the longer pieces on the ends of the lash towards the outer part of the eye, that would give you more of an elongated, kind of almondy shaped cat eye, winged out look. But I just love the wide open, kind of longer ones in the center. So I'm just continuing to go through. Now this is a really teeny tiny piece, so I'm putting that obviously more towards the inner part of the lash. Now I'm going through and kind of chopping up the other half there and doing the same thing on the other side. I'm measuring the other side of the lash just to make sure that I place my longest chopped up piece right in the center of the opposite lash so it's even. And I'm just going through again and placing the smaller pieces kind of towards the outer or inner part of the lash and just kind of pushing it down with the scissors. Now I'm going in with the last little piece that I have, little remnants of lash, and chopping that up. This one is more of a dense, kind of thicker lash, and it is a little bit shorter. So I'm going to use these little pieces that I chop up to put in between the longer, kind of fluffier pieces that I already have on there. And I'm also going to use these wispy lashes to sandwich in the little small pieces that I glued on top of that original longer lash on the bottom. I hope this makes sense, but literally you have like one full band on the bottom, glue the little pieces to it, and then one full band on the top, and it kind of creates that sandwich to keep the lash pieces together. And I went through and just kind of measured it to make sure that it fit perfectly on top. And it was a little tricky removing it because of course there is some glue on there already and it wanted to stick. So I went through and glued the lash to the top one that you see sitting there on the left. So that one is all nice and done, and I'm just repeating this step on the other side. So I'm going to take that other lash that is sitting there on the paper towel, and I'm going to sandwich that over the top of the other lash and little pieces of the lashes that I cut up and glued on there. Again, I just feel like that way it will stay on, it'll be a little bit more secure, and when you're taking off the lash, hopefully the little pieces will stay all intact because they are kind of sandwiched together with some glue. So once I have that done, again, I'm just kind of going through, placing it, making sure the glue's nice and dry and everything's pretty much symmetrical, and just putting the last little finishing touches on these lashes. And don't mind my finger, I actually burned it, so that's what that scar is. But they're done. This is the finished product, guys. So super wispy, nice, full, thick lashes. So again, all of the lashes that you don't use or just randomly found a pair or one lash, don't throw them away, glue them together and do this hack. And please tag me below and let me know how that works. Next up, have you ever had the Prolonger concealer and it won't come out? You still have like a good ½ an inch of concealer, guys. So it just stops pumping. Like for whatever reason, there's concealer down there, but the pumping mechanism will not allow it to squirt any more concealer out. So I've had it, I'm done. I had to take matters into my own hands. I busted out my glass cutter, and yes, I am just cutting around the outside of this Pro Longwear concealer bottle from MAC because again, I've had it. And as you can see, once I have the cut all the way around the outside, I try to break it in half and nothing. I'm going in with the opposite end of the glass cutter and kind of trying to hopefully make that break happen nice and clean and hopefully not get any glass shards in my concealer, and again, nothing. So we're moving on to some pliers. As you can see, I have the pliers in my hands. I'm just going to go around the outside of the black lid. You don't want to squeeze too hard because of course that could shatter the concealer at the top of the lid, and then you would have glass in your concealer. So I'm trying to kind of go through and take off pieces. I took off the actual part that squirted the concealer out. Then I took out this little mini tube that was attached to that. And again, just going through and trying to like loosen it up, work my way around there, and again, just really working that part out. And voila, you can see as I squirted concealer all over my tabletop, but it's done. I finally got the little top squirter piece to come out of the bottle, and now I'm just going to use an angled brush, or you can even use a Q-tip to kind of get in there and dig out the last little bit of that concealer. And let's go ahead and put some of that concealer on. We worked for it, guys. So no longer will you have that last little bit of concealer go to waste. And again, hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you liked it, and also notification bell so you can get some more of my videos. Thanks, guys.